What's up, bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video and another follow along. Today is kind of a special follow along in the sense that it's to celebrate the 15 million views on the 15-minute beginner follow along. And this is kind of an updated version, but just a slight variation if you are doing that one on the regular and just want to mix things up. Massive thank you to everyone who has supported the channel, and I'm really happy that it has been able to help so many people. For this one, you're going to need no equipment really. You're just going to need some space, some time to do some stretching. I would recommend potentially having a couple of yoga blocks or a bolster just to help with some of the exercises. Other than that, let's jump into this routine. All right, so we're going to kick things off just the same as the last one. We're going to work head to toe, start with the neck. You don't have to be seated how I am currently seated. You can be on a chair, kneeling, standing. For the moment, all is good. We're just going to start off bringing some awareness to the breath and moving the neck. So we're going to breathe in and look to the sky. We're going to exhale, and we're going to try and keep shoulders up and back and down. Try to just nod the head so feel a stretch through the back of the neck. Just going to do 3 of these, nice, quick, simple. Just to bring some tension to the breath and also just get things moving. So last one here, nice deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. Tucking that chin. All right. We're going to take our hand in an L-shaped position. We're going to place it thumb below the ear and around the back of the head. And then you're just going to simply try and sniff your opposite. So in this case, the left armpit. Whilst doing that, try to pull your elbow back and try to pull the shoulder down. So you should feel a nice stretch going through the back or the side of the neck. Very simply just going to hold this for the second. Just going to, about 30 seconds in total. So after my rambling, probably only 15 seconds now. Just keep trying to keep the neck down, pulling that shoulder actively away the entire time. I'm just going to quickly loosen up like the levator scap, sternocleidomastoid, some of those commonly tight muscles in the neck. Right. You can shake that one off. Same thing on the other side. So grab the L, thumb underneath the ear, hand around the back of the head. Try to sniff the opposite armpit. Pull the shoulder back and down to increase the stretch. I'm just going to breathe in this position. Can do, try to increase that stretch by just tucking the head a little bit further. And we can then shake that one off. And this time you are going to need to be on the floor. We're going to come into a quadruped, so a kneeling on all fours position. And we're going to walk the hands forward slightly. We're going to do a cat-cow, so this like extension, flexion sort of movement. We're going to do it with the arms slightly more overhead. So again, with the breath, I want you to inhale. I'm going to let the sternum drop all the way down to the floor as low as we can. Keep inhaling. Then we're going to exhale. And we're just going to round the back and try to imagine that we're lifting our sternum as far away from the ground as we can. So inhale, sternum down all the way to the mat. If you can do, push the hips back. Feel a stretch through the shoulders. And then exhale, pull the sternum up. We're going to do 5 of these in total. So that's 2 already. And then all the way up. Each time we want to be trying to get a little bit deeper into that stretch position. All the way down, inhale. Final rep now. Nice big exhale, try to pull that sternum up. And then from here we can lower down right onto our stomach, and we're going to chill for a second. We're going to stretch out the pecs. So we're going to take our left arm out at 90 degrees, elbow bent to 90 degrees. You're then going to reach your right leg over. So we're going to twist into this one, and you should now feel a stretch over the pec. We can perform a little bit of PNF here, so I'm going to try and press my hand down into the ground. So I'm going to contract where I'm feeling the stretch. I'm going to hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need about 50% effort. Exhale, try to twist a little bit further over. We're just going to do 1 more of those. So you're going to try and press that arm down into the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, relax a little deeper. And So we're very simply going to do that on the other side. So come back to the center, right arm out at 90, elbow to 90. Twist that left leg over. Should feel a stretch over the bicep, over the pec even. And then again, PNF. So we're going to press that arm down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. One more time. Press down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. All right, we're now going to move onto our back, so stay lying down, and we're going to lift our knees up into a tuck position, all the way up onto our chest. And then from here, we're just going to let them drift out to the side as well. So when you think about pulling the knees towards, outside of your shoulders, and at the same time, you're going to try and pull the lower back down towards the ground. Should feel a nice little stretch between the groin, the inside of the thigh, and also potentially in the lower back as well. Nice deep breaths here. Should be relatively comfortable. And then we're going to let the feet drop down to the ground. From here, we're just going to drop the knees towards the left-hand side. Try to keep the shoulders planted. Just a little bit of rotation on the lower back. Back to the center, back to the other side. Do 3 of these per side. Just pause for a few seconds on each rotation. So just bring a little bit of movement into the lower back, but just generally that spinal rotation as well. And last one on this right hand side. And we come back to the center. We're going to steal that glute stretch from the original video, so we're going to step that right foot out, left leg's going to knock over, and then we're going to pull that left knee towards our right shoulder. This is one of those glute stretches that just seems, regardless of flexibility level, to just hit the spot. Very simply, we're just going to hold this position for 30 seconds in total. So just like another 20 seconds here. You can choose to go deeper here by either trying to pull more towards your chest, or we can allow it to drop over more to the side, depending on where you want to feel the stretch. 3, 2, 1. Back to the center. Left leg steps out to the side, right leg hooks over. Pull that the right knee towards left shoulder. And again, same thing. Breathe into this one. Just sit into this one again. You can pull more towards the shoulder, pull more round to the side. Kind of, if you want to have more rotation of the spine, or if you want to focus a little bit more on the stretch in the glute, it's really up to you. 3, 2, and 1. Right, we'll sit up, and from here you're going to bring your feet outside of shoulder width. We're going to drop both legs to the right hand side. So one comes to internal rotation, the other to external rotation. I'm going to try and keep my torso square over them. Pause for a few seconds, come back to the other side. So hip swivel. We're going to do 3 of these per side. We're just going to pause, holding each position for 3 or 4 seconds. Just let gravity do its thing, and again try to keep that torso facing forward. This is one of those ones again that's in pretty much every follow along. Just a great warm up to open up the hips. I'll do an extra one for luck because of that. So this is now 3 per side. So right leg dropping in, left leg dropping out. And we're going to do the last one to the right. And last one to the left. Now for this next one, you're going to want something to sit against. So sitting against a sofa, sitting against a wall, or we can do it freestanding, but it just works nicer if you're sat. We're going to do a tailor pose. So we're going to open up that hip, also known as a butterfly pose. So I'm going to use this pole here. I'm going to get nice and close to it. I'm going to pull my feet inwards. Again, if you're sat just upright, you can grab hold of the feet and pull yourself upright, but for the ease, it is nicer just to be able to rest your back against something. You can sit nice and upright. Hands on the thighs, and we're just going to press down, so it should feel, again, nice stretch on the inner thighs here. Keep it nice and upright. We're going to do some PNF, so you're going to try and pull your knees into your hands. You're going to try and lift them up, contract that inner thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, and you're going to push those knees down, deeper. I'm going to do one more of those. So lift those knees up into the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax a little bit deeper. So hold this last one for 5 seconds. So this one is definitely one that a lot of people need to work on opening up, or it's just commonly tight. Gives a lot of opening in the hips, a lot of movement in the hips. And it's easy to sit in for a long period of time as well. But we've got to move on to the video. So we're going to move on to a little bit of quad stretching. We're going to sit up into a kneeling position. So you can be kneeling feet flat. If this isn't comfortable, put some cushions under the ankles. It'll take a little bit of weight off. Or you can come onto an actual toes kneeling position. We're going to lean back using the hands to support. And then from here, we're going to glute squeeze. We're going to push up with the hips. And then we're going to just hold for 5 seconds. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and come back down. So we should feel a nice stretch over the quads, over the hip flexors, and then a little bit of relaxation. You can also think about this as being active with the shoulders as well. So lift up again, use those glutes, push the hips up as high as you can, push down with the shoulders, feel a bit of a stretch over the front of the shoulder into the bicep. 2, 1, and back down. We're going to do one last one here. Extend up, push the hips up, squeeze the glutes, push down with the shoulders. 2, 1, and relax. All right, we're going to move on to a little bit of hamstrings now. So we're going to stand up into our best forward fold, but we're going to let the knees bend about 20 degrees so the stomach can rest a bit more on the thighs, and we're not super intense here. If you are still really quite intense, grab yourself for support. It's going to help you with the next move. So we're going to do some elephant walks here. I'm going to rotate around to the right hand side, and as I do that, I'm going to try and straighten my left leg so the stretch gets more intense here. I'm going to pause for a few seconds. Rotate to the center, rotate to the left hand side, straighten the right leg. Pause for a few seconds. Same thing. Center, left leg, center, right leg, twist to the left hand side. I'm going to do one more of these on each side. We're going to hold it for 15 seconds. So to the right hand side, straighten that left leg. Should feel the stretch going into the lower back as well. Keep your breathing consistent here. Just enjoy the stretch for a second. Back to the center. Back to the left hand side and straighten that right leg. And come back to the center. You can try and straighten both legs if you want to, if you're feeling a little bit more comfortable in that pike position. And then we're going to walk down into an upward dog position. We're getting into the final stretch now. So just move around here for about 10 seconds or so. Just loosen the hips up. Then we're going to do just a nice simple lunge. So we'll start with right leg forward. When you start at the top, squeeze the glute and keep that glute and the hip tucked. We're going to shift on forward. Now if this is too intense, you can come down and support with the hand, but ideally we want to be chest upwards. Now in this position, I want you to try and do 2 reps PNF. We're going to try and think about pulling this knee forward. So we're going to pull it into the mat. So pull, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale and try and sink deeper. Bit of a weird contraction to get your head around, but if you can really understand this one, it works great for the hip flexors. We do one more, so we're going to try and pull that knee forward. You can hold on to something to stop you from actively moving forward if you want to. You should use your front legs to be pushing against. 2, 1, and relax a bit deeper. Going to hold for a few seconds here. And we can come back down. Right leg goes back, left leg goes forward. Same thing again. Start by squeezing the glute, tucking the hips on that back leg and shifting down into it. Come down low if you need to, or hand supported on the thigh if you can handle it. I'm going to hold for a second, and then the same thing again. Just going to try and pull that knee towards your front foot. Almost like you're squeezing the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax deeper. One more here. So squeeze, pull that knee forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax, try to let that hip sink down further into this one. And finally, to finish up, I want you just to sit into a squat position. If you're comfortable, we can sit down to a resting squat. If you're not super comfortable in a squat, tight ankles for whatever reason, just grab yourself an anchor, and then you can then lean back into it. Most people should be able to get in a squat holding an anchor. And then from here, you're going to use your elbows to try and push the knees outwards. You can do the same if you're just in a resting squat. Just bring the hands into almost like a prayer position and just push out very, very slightly into that squat position, because that is basically the routine. As always, a massive thank you for everyone who has joined as part of the 15-minute follow along. I didn't really expected that video to do as well as it did, and it is much of the reason that I'm still making these videos today. So thank you for joining, and I really hope that one helps you out. If it does help you out, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to join other videos, then please hit that thumbs up button and support the channel. It really does help out these videos. Right next to it is also that subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on any more future follow-alongs that are coming on the channel. And as always, if you want to suggest one of those, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Other than that, have a strong week. Happy stretching.